You probably heard Quentin Tarantino saying multiple times that he's only making 10 movies. And since Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was number 9, that means there's only one more left. So what will Tarantino's 10th movie be about? Any ideas? I have plenty of them. Hi, I'm Peter, and you're watching Ossa'm Movies. Since we're trying to predict his next project in this video, we think it'd be fun for you all to vote at the end of the video and tell us what Tarantino's next film will likely be. But first, buckle up. A horror movie. If I had all the time in the world, I would love to make a really scary horror film like The Exorcist, said Quentin. And it's no surprise. Tarantino has spoken a lot about his passion for horror movies and what a great influence they've had on his work. Like, if you take a closer look at The Hateful Eight, you'll see that it's clearly deeply inspired by John Carpenter's classic 1982 horror movie, The Thing. Indeed, in both movies, there were several men who were cut off from the world because of the freezing cold, and they were trying to figure out who is who, or even who is what. Although in Carpenter's movie, the danger came from an outer space monster, and in Tarantino's film, there was obviously no sci-fi element. The case could be made that The Hateful Eight is the closest movie to the horror genre that Tarantino has ever made. But the thing is, Quentin's fiction movies are full of humor. And in a really scary horror film like The Exorcist, there's probably hardly any space for jokes. And it looks like Quentin himself understands that better than anyone else. I don't know if me taking my sense of humor and putting it in the back seat just to hit a tone of dread from beginning to end is the best use of my talents or my time. SciFi Movie. Rumors about Tarantino wanting to make a sci-fi have been floating around for a pretty long time. He gave several hints regarding what it might be about, and one of them is making an R-rated Star Trek movie. It's well known that the script for the new Star Trek is ready and has been pitched to J.J. Abrams. It's as yet not clear what role Tarantino would want to play in this project. However, Quentin promised to give an update after he's completely done with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Despite the Star Trek movie concept, there's another sci-fi idea that's been driving Tarantino crazy. During Comic-Con, he was asked whether he'd be interested in making a film in what was thought to be a completely unexpected genre, a sci-fi film. And here's what Tarantino answered. If you had asked me a few years ago, I would have said, nah, not really, I don't know. But this is the first time I'll be able to say maybe. It won't be a spaceship sci-fi, it'll be Earthbound. A series that I would like to put a spin on is The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Wow! Invasion of the Body Snatchers was a series of sci-fi films and remakes based on a novel by Jack Finney about outer space plant creatures that reproduced a duplicate replacement of each human. These copies are called the Pod People. Quentin said that he would like to tell the story from the Pod People's perspective, so that the audience would actually be rooting for them. He doesn't think the Pod People are all that bad, or so it seems. It would be really unexpected if Tarantino's last movie was about an alien plant invasion, wouldn't it? Kil Bill 3.
When you grow up, if you still feel raw about it, I'll be waiting.
Despite the fact that the bride killed Bill in the end of Volume 2, there are still some intriguing storylines that have yet to be continued. That's right, there have been multiple rumors about a Kil Bill sequel that could revolve around the bride and her daughter Bibi facing off against some of the bride's old enemies. Remember little Nikki watching her mum Benita Green, aka Copperhead, dying in Volume 1? Uma Thurman's character told her, when you grow up, if you still feel raw about it, I'll be waiting. Looks like Kil Bill 3 could develop that storyline. Tarantino once said that he still has lots of written material that wasn't included in the first 2 movies, like what happened to Sophie Fatale, who lost her arm in Volume 1? And what about Elle Driver? She lost her second eye, but we didn't see her dying in that trailer, right? Tarantino gave some great hints about the possibility of another volume of his revenge saga. However, there have been several scandals around the Kil Bill movies with regards to the car crash incident with Uma Thurman. So it seems unclear whether the bride will come back for Tarantino's last movie. Inglorious Basterds spin-off. it's been tentatively titled Killer Crow. The inspiration for the movie came during the writing process for Inglorious Basterds, because Quentin wrote a hell of a lot of material for his revisionist history movie, and only a part of it was shown in Inglorious Basterds. Killer Crow could take place in a similar timeline in 1944 after the Normandy invasion, and it could center on a bunch of black troops that went on an Apache warpath and killed a bunch of white soldiers and officers on a military base while they were making their way to Switzerland. According to Tarantino, the story would be somehow connected to Inglorious Basterds as well, and he even planned to make a mini-series about it. But who knows? Will we have a chance to watch it if Quentin only has one movie to go?
Un'altra volta, ma adesso vorrei proprio sentire la musica delle parole.
Before we come to our last and most likely idea for Tarantino's 10th film, let's take a look at two more story ideas that might also work really well. Noir Movie and 40 Lashes Less One. One genre that Quentin has never touched in his career is a noir gangster movie. He mentioned that he'd be interested in making a 1930s era crime film because the noir genre is one of the most influential in movie history. And it seems like a pretty natural fit if you look at his filmography. But of course, we all know that Tarantino just loves talking about different projects that he may be interested in. The same goes for the novel 40 Lashes Less One by one of Quentin's favorite writers, Elmore Leonard. Tarantino already made a film adaptation of one of Leonard's novels called Rum Punch, which we know better as the movie Jackie Brown. 40 Lashes Less One could be Quentin's third Western, and the most important evidence here is that he already owns the rights for it. This sounds like a pretty nice idea for his 10th movie then, right?
I've killed a hell of a lot of people to get to this point.
But what about another, much less expected Western idea for Tarantino's last film? Another Western movie. Tarantino loves Westerns the most, hands down. Even his movies that are not Westerns still look like they've been greatly influenced by the genre. Quentin has said that to consider himself a Western director, he would need to make at least 3 movies in that genre. Django Unchained, number 1, The Hateful Eight, number 2, and it seems like we need just one more for that to be a bingo, right? Tarantino has said a couple of times that he would like to make a movie about John Brown, his favorite American hero of all time. John Brown was an abolitionist who fought against slavery using armed rebellion. And if you pay attention to Quentin's movies, you might notice that American slavery is an important theme for Tarantino. So, making a Western about John Brown sounds like a perfect idea for Tarantino's last movie.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
So what do you guys think? Which idea seems to be the most likely to be Quentin's 10th and final movie? Vote for it in the poll above. And feel free to let us know about other possible ideas in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel and stay awesome.